All right, everyone. So today we want to look at how to create our app in Streamlit, which we are going to take a look at chatting. So I'm inside my folder right now. I'm going to double click and see this DMV. I uploaded a file called kc_house_data, and you can see the Titanic data is here. So what we're going to do is just type CMD, and when you type CMD, it's going to open a command prompt for you and type code spacebar with dot. So the moment you do that, it's going to open a new code for you, and you're going to see it like the way it is. Yeah, so right now what we want to do is that we want to continue, like go back inside your Streamlit, because this it's your command prompt. So you should try to navigate through and get into your virtual environment, so that by the time you want to install something in the future, you are going to be practically installing it inside your virtual environment. Okay, so what you're going to do is that you're going to say, now that I want to go back into my virtual environment, I need to understand that I have to cd, which is enter a folder. That's what cd means, current directory. So I want to enter into a folder called venv, which is the virtual environment. So what does this mean? You can see this folder is what you're entering. So you're going to click on enter. So then you're going to say, then I've entered into the cmd. I want to enter into the script folder. So you're going to do that as well. So you're going to do that as well. So you're going to say cd, then you say then script. So by the time you do that, you have entered into the script environment. So when you do that, I like to click on CLS, type CLS, so that I can erase all those codes I've written in the past. So then I'm going to say, you know what, then I need to enter into the app. I'm inside the script right now. I need to activate. So the moment you take activate, is going to, you can see the space in there is going to turn to virtual environment, not C anymore. So I hit on it. So you can see it is already been activated. So then I will say, now that it's activated, I want to say Streamlit run. What is the name of the Python file? main.py. So main.py. So the moment I do that, you can click on enter. So this is going to take some few time, and if it's telling you that main.py doesn't exist, the reason is that you have to ensure that you are out of this script file and virtual env file, and you have to be directly inside the Streamlit app. So what we're going to do is that type cd dot. So to enter step by step and get into your Streamlit app back. I know this sounds a little bit more overwhelming, but just get used to it. CLS, clear screen, and then I am inside the virtual environment, and at the same time I'm inside the Streamlit app. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say Streamlit, though I can try not to run it again, type it again, erase it, and type the top arrow button that is on your keyboard, so that you can go back to the previous prompt that you've run before. So I hit on enter. So this is going to locate the main file, and it's going to open the entire app for me, web application. Don't forget, we are building web applications. Okay, so I have another data. I call it kc_home_ data.csv. So here I can decide to see if I can type st.data frame. So if I do this, I want to see if I can even see that data in form of tables, and I'll say df. So the moment I do that, let's Control S, let's run the code. And if you can run the code, let's see what this is going to give us. Sometimes I like to just do it like this. So just do it like that, so that you can see it step by step. You can see. Let me see if this gives me what I want. I can rerun it. Let's see if this is going to give me the table. The table is there. So let me just, you can see the table is there. Then I can decide to say st.divider. So you know what this thing means? It's going to give me a ruler. So I can just press Ctrl S. You can just refresh it. You can see, you're going to see a ruler down below. So here now, but there's no title at the top of this place. So I can decide to put a title, and I will say st.header. And open and close bracket, and I'll, inside this place, I'll just type something like what exactly are we doing? Let me just, in my head, let's see. We are working on, we're working on, let's say inside this place, we are working on charts in Streamlit. App. So let's Ctrl S and let's see what it's gonna give us. You can see, and we can decide to use a divider as well. But sometimes I just want to get used to how you can beautify your app. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I can have a divider here as well, so that there's going to be a divider at the top before the app, divider at the bottom. So you already understand what this thing really means. So let's say, for instance, you just want to start talking about design. Okay. Let's take, for instance, we want to start working on the chart. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to say, now that I want to start working on chart, let's see if we can work on line chart. We're going to work on line chart. So if you want to work on line chart, let's say you want to compare price and date together. Date doesn't seem good, but let's say, for instance, you just want to compare price and bedroom together. I don't know, let's just see if we can make that work. Yeah, you just say, now that I want to do that, what you're going to do is just say st, which is st. This st is what we're working on. St dot line chart, line underscore chart, open and close brackets. So then you're going to call the data frame you're working on, which is the df. So df, then you're going to say, after that, then I need to know what is going to be my x on x-axis and what is going to be on my y-axis. So what we want to be on the x-axis is the date. Let me say the price, and let's say price. And what I want to be on the y-axis is, let me say bedrooms. Yeah, let's say bedrooms. So just double click and let's say bedrooms. Yeah, many times you might decide to have more than one thing in your y-axis, more than one thing in your x-axis. So it depends. So let me just run this code. So and let me run this and let's see what's going to happen. So if it is charts, sometimes it takes some few times because it's heavy. We have a lot of stuff that has to do with this. So if I should bring this down, let me just maximize this so that you can see something. You can see that it gives us a pure chart. All right, so this is what we can see concerning your you can see the more it's loads, yeah, it starts loading. You can see this thing is still loading. Yeah, so it is still loading. Yeah, you can see that's completely loaded. You can see this gives you what you expected. So another thing I would like to show you, okay, is this is the line chart. Let's say, for instance, you want area chart. So let's say area. Area chart. So let's say we want area chart. So if you want area chart, then you see now st dot area chart. You can typically use the same thing. Yeah, just let's see what it happens. I just want you to see how it works. So that is how to call things. Yeah, so you can do that. You can do it for bar chart as well. You can even do it for map. Okay. Let me just copy and paste in. Let me just say this is bar. Bar chart. You try to say bar underscore chart. Yeah, you can remove this. Yeah, copy. Or let me make it bigger so that you're not going to be stressed when you're watching me. Paste it. You can see bar chart. If you look at this, line chart, bar chart, line chart, area chart, and bar chart. So that is how to get all of these things done. All right. just play around this and let's take a look at how it looks, and that's it. Okay, so and one thing is that you can also go for another, if you have a particular file that has to do with map, so you can look for map. Yeah, so it gives you you can just put something inside of this place that has to do with map, but these files are supposed to have longitude and latitude. You can see it, longitude and latitude, colors, zooms and stuff like that is there, but we don't have file that has to do with map right now. But let me just put it there. If you have any file that has to do with longitude and latitude map, you can just go online and put it there for map. All right, so another thing I would like to show you is that if you're using line chart, area chart, bar chart, there's another thing I would like to show you, and that thing is using matplotlib. So this is more, we're going to be using it as we move on in the future, but since you've already understand how to use matplotlib, you can typically use it as well. Yeah, so all these charts that comes along with Streamlit, but if you want more, you have to have more control over your charts, then you can use matplotlib. Okay, we're going to use it as we move on, but just don't want to bust your head right now with too much of information. Just practice this and let's see how it goes. You can see. Yeah, so that's it. So if I should run this code now, you can see, if I should, let's say for instance, I just run this code. So, and I try to click on this, it might take some time because this thing process itself. So because it's more of charts, so it takes time. It's not like on table, like the way you normally see tables. Sometimes you can even try to, move your mouse around and it's still going to be loading. So then you have to be patient. You can see this is for area chart and this is for bar chart. Yeah, I can decide to break all of this thing down so that you can literally see it clearly. Yeah, so you can break it down by giving it a subhead. So I can come here, because, and I divide it as well. So let's take, for instance, I've already said header. So I can have a subhead at this top. I will just say st.subheader. So now open and close the bracket, and I'll put this thing, the name of the chart. So this is line chart. I'll paste it there. So I'll copy this thing because it's subhead. Under this place, I call this thing area chart. Area chart, and under this one I call this bar chart. You can see you started noticing how to use all your codes that you've learned before. I call this one bar chart, and you can also decide to divide it so that they're going to be under each other. So this division can be at the bottom, this division can be at the bottom of this, and this division can be at the bottom of this. So I'm going to save it. So by the time you take a look at this, before there's nothing like header or something, there's nothing like something that is dividing them. Everything is jam-packed together. So you can reload it. So this thing, let's see what it gives us. So you can see this thing gives you line chart, and this thing gives you area chart. You can see with an underline, and this gives you bar chart. All right, so that's it. You can see how very cool this is. You can try to do it, something that is not hard. Yeah, so practice this and let me have your comment, and let me have your post, and let's move on. So the next tutorial, we're going to dive into something more awesome, and until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.